So, I've been having a problem with no upper end power, above 3,000 RPM. So, the Imrc, which are these, they are actually a valve that goes in here and it opens and closes at a certain RPM according to the computer, and this little box right here controls it. And you got to make sure that you got the one hooked up to the right side, one hooked up to the left side. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to eliminate it, because the 2009 model, this is a 2008, the 2009 model doesn't even have this on it, the Imrc. So in order to do that, you take these little two bolts out right here, pull that cap off, pop this out, and then you got this long rod that goes all the way down through all these that are sitting in there. So all you do is slide that rod out, which is this side right here. I've already got this one here out. So you slide the rod out, and you see how the valve closes and opens. Well, my problem was I had it hooked up backwards, and whenever it was supposed to be open, it was actually closing. Whenever it was closing, it was opened. One way to tell is if you have a scanner and you read the barometric pressure. For my area, it's going to be like 158, 160, somewhere around there, if those are open. But if they close, it got all the way down to 130, 120. So whenever I was into my upper RPM, the 130, 120, I was starving of oxygen, or air, basically. So take those two bolts out, and then there's 4 of these bolts, one there, it's a T15, one there, and then one down here on the bottom. Take those out, this whole piece right here comes out, and I'll show you here in just a second. Anyway, this is the last one. So take those 4 bolts out. Like I say, it's T15, and we'll proceed to pull out this whole piece right here, and then we'll pull those out. So you see how this just slides out of there, and then all we got to do is just slide this whole thing right here. Just pops out. Can't do it with one hand, of course. There's one. Maybe I can get the whole thing out of there. So it just slides out. We're just going to eliminate these, put the rod back, put everything back, hook everything back up to where the computer still thinks that the Imrc is still working. I mean, honestly, all I'm going to do is lose a little bit of low end torque for upper end power, which is whenever I'm towing, which is where I'm at, usually above 3,000 RPM. And that's basically all this is for. I mean, it's supposed to be for gas mileage too, but you need more air, more power. So now all I've done was just stuck it back in there without the valves in there. I'm going to take this rod, stick it back down in there to where it looks like it's supposed to be in there. Take this little piece, slide it back down on it. Then take this piece, slide it over top of it, put the 2 bolts back in, and then hook everything back up. Put the rods back in to where it still controls it. And that will solve some of my problems.